Alright, so welcome to Hip Hop and Poetry TV. What you're going to hear on this channel is spoken word poetry, slam poetry, micro poems, regular literary poems. Maybe I'll read a poem from a book. Maybe I'll just decide to improv and recite on the spot whatever I feel. This is a place where we come and we express ourselves and we have good talks about why it is so important to use your voice and why it's so important to express yourself. So, with that said, let me get into poetry. What does poetry mean to me? What does poetry mean to you? Leave it in the comments if you want to tell me. Poetry to me, it helped me out of very tough situations. Times where I felt like I didn't want to move on. I felt like it was very difficult to write things down and to get all my thoughts out. And then I figured out that it didn't matter what I wrote or how I wrote it. It didn't matter what I said or how I said it. The most important part was that I actually did it, that I said something. And as I started writing, I improved. As I started speaking, I got better. But I didn't quit. I didn't quit the second that somebody said, you don't sound that good, or your Spanish and your English is not that good, or your English, you don't have an accent, or you have an accent, whatever the cause may be. I figured out that when I got to that piece of paper, or I got into that freestyle mode, that I could just release and be myself. Now, we're going to get a lot of stuff out. This is just one of many. We're going to get a lot of stuff out. We're going to talk what we feel. But most importantly, we're going to be in that state, that mind state that says, poems are literary only if you figure yourself to be figurative. Maybe I express my tones, but before melodies can speak themselves out, that's when I find my home, inside where the heart is, where the drum is constantly beating. And if you didn't know what I said before, then you might be scheming. So let me slow down the tone and vibration to the ones that could see my conversation without even actually using their eyes. So I speak similes and lullabies to the truth of those who are out there. Algo así, algo así. Yo creo que es necesario. And I think that it's very important for us to just be in ourselves, man. Just be in that safe space. And poetry, for me, it does that, right? It helps me be non-judgmental towards myself, towards how I feel, towards how I view life. And it gives me that breath of fresh air. It gives me that ability to just speak, right? We have this amazing vocal spinning chakra disc that is constantly clearing itself out, right? Constantly giving us ideas, and we get to bounce back with ourselves on what it is that we're doing and how we're doing, and if we're doing it right, if we're doing it wrong. But when it comes to poetry, ladies and gentlemen, cuando viene la poesía, it does not matter. Okay, I want you to get it out your head. It does not matter the beginning stages of how you write your poems. It doesn't have to be a certain way. It doesn't have to fit a certain category. If you want to be really good at what you do, and you want to feel really good about what you write about, then I say just learn to let yourself go and learn to let all that information that channels from the universe into your mind, into your body, into your states of being, and just let it be and just speak them. And, well, I think that's the best advice that I can give to anyone out there that writes poetry or doesn't, or is just a fan. They love the way that sounds mixed together into these beautiful melodies, these beautiful hymns, these songs that sometimes don't even have music, right? Because our voice itself can be music. So I'm going to end it with this. Thank you for watching. You guys can check out some more of my videos, some of the music videos, some of the poems that I'll be putting up. But I want to leave you with this. Love is not always understood correctly because we try to define it. We try to define love before we actually let it hit our heart space. So I open up that heart space within that darkness and I shed a little bit of light. And then I sit, I breathe, and I expand. Muchas gracias. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, check out the other stuff that's to come. Nos vemos pronto and keep writing your poetry. Muchas gracias. Peace.